बंसल सर
हाँ जी
शिवांशु आ गए.
ओके मैं स्टार्ट करूँ.
Good evening, sir.
हाँ गुड इवनिंग. गुड इवनिंग. Can you define about yourself in 2 minutes?
Sir, my name is Shivanshu Dwivedi. My hometown is in Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. All of my schooling has been done in Rewa. Then I moved out of Rewa and my graduation was completed from Government Engineering College, Jabalpur. I was gold medalist there. My father is a farmer, my mother, she is a housewife. And after pass out from my college, I have been preparing for engineering services. Then in the year 2020, I have been qualified in a railway recruitment board exam. And currently, I am working as a depot material superintendent in DRM office, Western Railway, Vadodara.
Okay, very good, great. So, what is your job profile right now, basically?
Uh, I am dealing in local purchase department in which my major work is related to tendering, in which I
Okay.
yes sir.
So, what are the things you will see in the tender process? What is the main rules you are using?
So firstly, the first work that we do after receiving the intent is check the technical specification of the material to be ordered, in which the model SOP, that is schedule of hour, whether it is used correctly or not, and
Okay.
then fund, whether fund is available to procure these material or not.
Okay. Okay. So, can you tell us how the differential is going to be work in the case of railways?
Sir, as in railways we do not have a steering mechanism, then the wheels of the railways are in a taper shape. Generally, 1 in a 20 taper is used, and
Okay.
as there is turn, then the center of turning makes the radius more, then omega decreases less. Sir, generally this is a conservation of V equal to R omega, and as R increases, omega get decreased. It helps in maintaining the path.
Okay, fine. So, um, recently there is a one fast train means I started from between which to which city recently last week I think.
Sir, from Bangalore to Delhi, sir.
Okay, so what is the speed of that train?
Sir, in the range of 130 to 150 kilometers per hour.
So is that train is running on the same type of platform, old platform, or some new construction is there?
Sir, major track is same, sir, but
Okay.
generally
So,
to
so
run.
what type of strength means how you have included that the required strength to bear that much amount of high speed? What are the changes as a mechanical engineer you have?
Sir, in the material of rails, generally more or less it is same, sir. But as
Okay.
we are in future, we are going to start a high-speed train, so there will be a different rails are going to be used, in which high nickel and chromium content will be used. It
Okay.
will ensure that the it has more strength, and while movement during the movement of the trains, generally high pressure is also get imparted on the trains, so we have to also think about the foundation in which the rails are embedded.
Okay. What is the main strength of the tungsten?
uh, Sorry sir, I'm not exactly aware of
Tungsten.
the exact figure, sir.
Okay. Okay. What is the main role of the nickel?
Nickel is generally austenite stabilizer and also increases the strength. And in electrical appliances, if we talk about heating or all, generally it increases the thermal coefficient
Okay.
expansion.
Okay.
It
What do you
reduces.
mean by controlling force?
Sir, in terms of governor,
Hmm.
when centrifugal forces are going to when the balls get rotated, then
Hmm.
centrifugal force gets generated, and with the help of controlling force, we change the direction. We control the movement of the throttle valve, sir, with the help of mechanism. Sir.
Okay. Okay. Can you relate the hammer blow effect with respect to your um, trains?
So generally, hammer blow effect induces the up and down movement of the locomotive in the wheels. So
Hmm.
hence, hammer blow word came.
Okay. What is how it is differentiate from the swing couple?
So swaying couple is the transverse movement of the locomotive, whereas
Okay.
uh, whereas the hammer blow is up and down movement, and swaying couple is left to right movement while traveling.
Okay. What is the difference between pitching and rolling?
Sir, generally in rolling, uh, our object rotates in the axis perpendicular to the movement, and in pitching, generally up and down movement along the direction of movement or direction of rotation take place.
Okay. Which type of techniques generally you prefer in the case of your railways, recruitment, and all these procedures, PERT or CPM techniques, or any other technique?
So generally in the construction projects in which we
Hmm.
have already done similar type of project in the past, we
Hmm.
generally use CPM methods, and
Hmm.
now various R&D methods are going also in the implementation phase. So generally PERT is also used nowadays
Okay.
in R&D
So
phase.
how you will use the
Sorry, sir.
crashing of the project?
So generally in the CPM project, we
Hmm.
know which type of project or which type of sub work is going to be completed in how many days. So
Hmm.
if there is urgency, we implement or we employ more number of resources and more allocation of funds to ensure that this dedicated bottleneck project get completed below the stipulated time which is already allotted to this work.
Okay. What is the main reason, as a mechanical engineer point of view, you will think there are so many accidents are occur, train accidents.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and especially in the case of winter times, especially. So, what is the main reason, and what is the solution? Means, as a mechanical engineer, you will suggest.
Sir, first of all, if we talk about the accidents which take place due to the damaging of the rails,
Hmm.
then one of the possible reason is during winter due to contraction and expansion of the rails, it get damaged. So if we use more amount of nickel while uh, making of manufacturing of the rails,
But the
then
problem is that the tracks are already there. Already, we know the material. So, how you will suggest what is the possible solution for this existing situation?
sir, we run various type of maintenance system like
Okay.
preventive maintenance.
Hmm.
So generally in railway there is department of P-way, permanent way, in which various trackmans are employed to ensure that all the rails are in well condition. So uh, majorly the surveillance or the automatic systems which can ensure that the rails are in proper
Okay.
condition.
Second way for the accident reason. Second
Sir,
reason.
second, during winter time, there is a problem of fogging. So, due to
Hmm.
fogging, the loco pilot is not able to see the complete path and may miss the signals.
Okay.
So, we are using anti-fogging lamp generally, and it is
Okay.
now have been implemented in more than 10,000 locomotives generally we run. So, with the help of this,
Hey, my last question: which type of welding we are using for the railway tracks?
sir, earlier it used to be thermite welding, but
Okay.
now a different type of welding machines are have been procured by us, in which there is Chinese technology. The major work is more or less same, but now we do not say it as a thermite welding, sir.
Okay. Fine. Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Continue please with the technical aspects, भगत sir. नहीं आप करिए ना सर. चलिए ठीक है पहले मैं करता हूँ. शिवांशु,
Yes,
you are presently working in Vadodara.
yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with the simplest of things. How is Vadodara different from Jabalpur from cultural point of view? As many things as you can think of.
Sir, before uh, saying the difference between the Jabalpur and the Vadodara, the very uh, important thing that I uh, observed that the both real Vadodara and Jabalpur both are known as cultural capital. Like Jabalpur is a cultural city and Vadodara
I'm
is a
not. I'm not interested in similarities.
yes.
The question is only on differences.
Sir, if we compare the sanitation aspects, Vadodara is much more cleaner as compared to the
One. So first thing is cleaner.
cleaner.
Next,
Second, the major lifeline of Jabalpur is the Narmada district, Narmada river. But if we compare with that of Vadodara, we have one major river is Viswamitri, but whose condition is not as good as Narmada. So, second aspect is that. Thirdly, sir, generally Vadodara is much more greener as compared to the Jabalpur, as major time.
these are physical attributes. They are not cultural, Shivanshu. Anyway, let me change the subject. What are the major exports from India? Top five.
Sir, first is top five in the. I'm not sure about the exact ranking, but some of
No, I'm not on exact ranking. In your understanding, which are the major exports in terms of value?
sir, uh, electronics items now
Okay.
apparel like clothing and all,
Okay.
and sir, export of wheat, rice, like staple item, food items,
Staple food item.
staple food items, and
You are missing on the top ones. Top two, three. The top is petroleum products.
yes, sir.
Then we have gems and jewelry. Then we have agricultural products, not the staple ones. I wanted you to come over to the agricultural aspect. That you are son of an agriculturist.
Yes, sir.
Now, in fact, in the financial year 21-22, India has done very well in export of agricultural items and have earned a huge foreign exchange.
Yes, sir.
But farmers in India continue to commit suicides because of poverty.
Yes, sir.
How do you explain this in Medi? And what are the reasons and what should be done?
Sir, the first and foremost reason that comes into mind is sir, in India there are more number of marginalized farmers. First means most of the time farmers are involved in the agriculture activity, but the produce they produce is not sufficient to have run throughout the years. Second is the loan system, in which we do not have a proper system for loans, in which they indulge or they get trapped into the debt trap of the local money lenders. Third is non availability of the non not sufficient knowledge of the soil types, and they get used to use the conventional fertilizers
Soil type. Okay.
soil type. So the fertilizer which they use is not in the requirement of the crop. So because of which less crop yield is there for
No, no,
some
but
part of farmers.
all this was there when we produced the agricultural products and exported them. These factors were always there.
So the produce which we are getting is not from a small farmer. It is from a big farmers.
So the problem is that means we should have only big farmers, not small farmers. Agreed?
No, sir. This is not the one of the possible
Then,
solutions.
then what is the solution then?
Sir,
So if you want small farmers also to be there, but small farmers will have problems.
sir, small farmers they have to get combined their land so that more number of diversified crops can be used and less labor can be used to uh, proper utilization of the resources. Sir.
How can that be done? You mean they should form cooperatives?
Yes, sir. This is one of the major promising solutions.
Okay, my last question to you. I'll give you 90 seconds to answer, 1.5 minute more. And this is on your favorite hobby. You are a debater.
Yes, sir.
You have won prizes in Hindi debate, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you want, you can speak these 90 seconds in Hindi also, as you desire. So, and the subject of the debate today, where I'm taking you to the debate, the subject is also related to Hindi. The, the topic of the debate is, you would have seen recently in the newspapers and TV that Hindi language is being adopted by many states and colleges for giving technical education, particularly medical.
Yes, sir.
And the demand is for engineering also, right?
Yes, sir.
Now the topic of the debate is, should we have higher education, technical education in Hindi and regional languages instead of English? As you know, debates have two sides. The role I'm giving to you is that you will speak against the motion, not in favor of it, but against it, for 90 seconds. Start.
सर, बात ये बिल्कुल सही है कि हिंदी को अगर हम यूज़ करेंगे तो प्रारंभिक शिक्षा जो मातृभाषा में होती है तो लोगों को समझने में आसानी होती है, बट हम आजकल के वैश्विक वातावरण में देख रहे हैं सर कि अगर हम किसी को केवल हिंदी में ही जानकारी देंगे, सारी पढ़ाई अगर उनकी हिंदी में ही करवाएंगे, तो वो आजकल के जो प्रतियोगिता, ये कॉम्पिटिटिव एटमॉस्फेयर है सर, उसमें नहीं एकस्ट्रम हो पाएंगे सर, क्योंकि हम देख रहे हैं कि ग्लोबलाइजेशन के दौर पे हम जो प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, कर रहे हैं, जो डॉक्टर और इंजीनियर्स हमारे हैं, वो केवल भारत भर में नहीं, पूरे विश्व भर में बराबर काम कर पा रहे हैं। और अगर हम केवल पढ़ाई हिंदी भाषा में ही करेंगे तो वो हो सकता है कि वो कहीं पीछे रह पाएँ। और अभी तक जब से भारत आज़ाद हुआ है आज तक ज़्यादातर टेक्निकल जो पढ़ाई हुई है वो इंग्लिश में ही हुई है, तो हमारे पास रिसोर्सेज की भी कमी है, तो हमारे पास ये काफ़ी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम रहेगी। और साथ में ये जो नई पीढ़ी आएगी जो केवल हिंदी भाषा में ही पढ़ी हुई होगी, वो कभी फील करेगी कि लैग बिहाइंड है और लोग उनको हीन भावना से भी देख सकते हैं। तो हमें ये रहेगा कि हिंदी को ठीक है प्रमोट करने में, बोलचाल की भाषा में ठीक है, बट टेक्निकल पढ़ाई इंग्लिश में ही होनी चाहिए ताकि वो।
धन्यवाद शिवांशु, थैंक यू। भगत सर।
हाँ जी सर। अच्छा, मिस्टर शिवांशु, you have done your graduation in 2017.
Yes, sir.
So up to 2020, what were you doing?
Sir, in the year 2018 and 19, I appeared in engineering services interview. Then in the year 2020, I got selected in RRB exam, sir. And in between 2017 to 19, while preparing for engineering services, I was also involved in the content developing for engineers, sir, in various institutes, sir.
Okay, it is nothing is mentioned. With gap of 3 years, nothing is mentioned in your gap. That is the reason why I was asking you. Okay. Now you tell me, what are your favorite subjects?
Sir, refrigeration, air conditioning, heat transfer, renewable energy resources, material science, manufacturing science, and industrial engineering.
Okay. Please tell me, what is a pitot tube? What does it do and how does it do? Pitot tube.
Pitot tube is flow measuring device in which, with the help of
it's a flow. It measures the flow.
Velocity measuring device with the help
yes.
of by using the stagnation pressure technique.
Okay. So on what principle does it work?
Sir, Bernoulli principle is used.
It works on Bernoulli's tube. Okay. Do you know how to specify a lathe?
Sir, lathe is specified by various means. First is distance between the tail stalk and the end stalk, head stalk, that is known as span of the length, span of the lathe, and the type of chucks in which lathe is used. Generally, sir, I'm only remembering only these 2 points.
What about the diameter or the swing?
Yes, sir. Swing is also one of the method in which.
What about the RPM? Okay. Can you see this pencil?
Yes, sir.
I want to grind the outer diameter. And in large number, I got thousands of pencils, I want to grind them. Metallic, not wood.
Wooden.
What machine shall I use?
Sir, Kaftan lathe, in which
I want to grind, not capstan lathe. Lathe is only for turning, metal cutting.
to grind, sir.
I want to grind this outer diameter. You know what is grinding?
Yes, sir.
So I want to grind this. A cylindrical pin.
Oh, sir, external centerless grinding. Grinding.
Woody.
Yes, sir. Outer
So
diameter.
what machine will I use?
Sir, external centerless grinding can be used.
External
Centerless grinding methods can be used.
centerless grinding.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is volumetric efficiency of an IC engine?
The actual amount of air that gets sucked in to the swept volume of the cylinder.
Very good, very good. What is Curie point?
Curie point is a temperature in which the magnetic properties of the iron get changed.
Very good. Okay. What is water hammer?
Generally, water hammer is a phenomena which is observed when there is sudden closure of the valve in the penstock of water turbines.
Very good. How many types of water turbines are there normally?
Sir, impulse turbine, reaction turbines are used, and if we talk about the name, like Pelton turbine is an impulse turbine, Francis turbine is a reaction turbine, Kaplan turbine. Francis is a mixed flow turbine, and Kaplan is a reaction turbine, and propeller turbine is also used.
Okay, very good. What is the capital of Taiwan?
The Taipei, sir, maybe.
Taipei. Okay. Mr. Vimlendu.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Shivanshu,
Yes.
tell me what is the critical speed of a shaft?
Critical speed is also known as a resonance speed, in which the transverse vibration are such that that the shaft may fail.
Okay, so is it possible to run a shaft beyond that critical speed, more than of that of critical speed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It
How?
is possible. Sir, while while we are increasing the RPM, when the shaft reaches the critical speed, then we have to balance our assembly such that it takes very less time, and when that passes on, then higher speed, critical speed, we can run the assembly at higher speeds. Generally, we do this in power plants.
Okay. Now, tell me what is transmissibility?
It is the ratio of the force transmitted to the foundation to the actual force without the insulators. Uh,
Like suppose you just think about the curve between transmissibility and frequency ratio.
yes, sir.
Can you think about that curve?
Yes.
So in that curve, we have a point over that x-axis, or you can say frequency ratio axis. What is the significance of root 2? What is the significance of root 2 of that omega by omega n?
Sir, it helps us to identify whether the damping is whether it is a damp system, under damped, or sir, next third is, or there are three type of damping, sir. So it helps us to identify under damp, over damp, or at resonance, critical resonance, sir.
Like if you have options, like if we can change the damping coefficient, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
have number of possibility, like under damped system, over damped system, critically damped system. So if your system runs beyond that point, means if omega by omega n is more than root 2, correct? Which is better? Under damped, over damped, or critically damped system?
Sir, it depends on what are our end use. Like if we are using a like earthen tank or something, then
that is given. that is given means that condition is given if suppose system is running in such a condition that omega by omega n is more than root 2.
Yes, sir.
Right? So in that case, which of the three options is better? Under damped system, over damped system, or critically damped system?
Sir, if this is under damped system, sir.
In this under damped system.
Sorry, sir.
And
if root 2 is more than root 2, then it is over damped system and it is good for us.
Okay.
Yes.
And if the suppose omega by omega n is less than that value,
then it is under damped system in which the exact or static condition will not be able to achieve.
are you sure?
Maybe I got intermixed with these two, sir.
You get confused.
Yes, sir.
You're just talking reverse. Okay. Right. Tell me, suppose if I have a member, this is the member suppose I have.
Yes, sir.
This is made up of steel, mild steel.
Yes, sir.
If I want to find strength, tensile strength of this member, how we can find tensile strength of this member?
Sir, with the help of tensile testing machine.
Tensile testing machine?
Yes, sir.
Which machine is this? Or is it universal testing machine?
Sorry, sir. It is universal testing machine, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So why it is called as universal testing machine?
Sir, with the help of this machine, we can use any shape of object, any type of object, and we can get its strength.
Which test we can perform over this machine?
Like tensile testing, compression testing machine, and we get stress strain curve after performing this.
Okay. So can you point important points of that stress strain curve if we take a material mild steel?
Yes, sir. Sir, the first point is proportional limit, then
right.
Elastic limit, then upper.
You just say the significance also.
Sir,
spell the significance also.
Sir, proportional limit is generally in Hooke's law. It is defined as the up to the proportional limit, stress is directly proportional to the strain. Elastic limit is a limit in which if load is applied within an elastic limit, then material will regain its shape without having any permanent deformation. Then there is yield point. Upper yield point. Then yielding will occur. Then there is a lower yield point.
Right.
Then there is ultimate point. Then fracture point.
Okay, so why mild steel have two yield points?
Sir, it is because of quadral atmosphere which gets created due to the interstitial void which is get filled by the carbon and iron. Sir. It has to be deal with the material science. Sir, because of quadral atmosphere.
Now tell me, if I am going to increase the content of carbon, right?
Yes, sir.
What change you can find in that stress strain curve?
So generally, we will not able to get two yield point in the stress strain curve, and it will simple have elastic limit, then fracture or ultimate point, then fracture, sir.
So what is the major changes I am talking about? If suppose I have a low carbon steel and high carbon steel, mild steel is example of low carbon steel, na?
Yes, sir.
So just think about the curve of mild steel and high carbon steel. So what should be the changes in that curve I am talking about, stress strain curve?
Sir,
major changes I am talking about. In terms of strength, you can say. In terms of deformation, you can say.
Sir, the modulus of elasticity value of mild steel is more than that of higher carbon steel. Sir, then the slope of the curve gets changes, sir. And then another point is we will not be able to get upper yield and lower yield points.
What about strength? Ultimate strength?
Ultimate strength of higher carbon steel will be more as compared to mild steel.
What about fracture, strain, deformation?
Sir, deformation will be more in the mild steel part, but the fracture strength will be more that of high carbon steel.
Okay. Now tell me how we can differentiate between ductile and brittle material.
Sir, if we talk about destructive methods, then while seeing the surface after the fracture, if there is cup cone fracture, then it is a ductile material, and if there is granule surface, then it is a brittle fracture.
So what is rubber, elastic rubber? Ductile or brittle?
Sir, it comes in it is kind of misnomer, sir. It comes in the brittle material.
Brittle behavior, na?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you compare the steel bar with rubber, having similar dimensions,
Yes.
which one is more elastic?
Sir, steel bar is actually having more elasticity as compared with the rubber plasma.
Why?
Uh, uh, we can say by seeing it stress strain diagram, steel bar will have more elastic, more modulus of elasticity as compared to the rubber.
Okay. Means elasticity depends on Young's modulus, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, Shivanshu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shivanshu. That's all from us for today's interview. Just wait for a minute or two. We'll call you back for feedback.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Shivanshu, how do you feel? How did you perform today?
It was above average, sir, I think.
It was above. Definitely, it was above average. And as compared to, you have been before UPSC earlier twice.
Yes, sir.
What happened? How was the performance over there, both the times?
Sir, during first time, board was of Mr. PK Joshi, sir. My score was 132 out of 200. And
132?
Yes, sir.
That's
that
good.
year, highest was 136. And in the second year, the board was of Mr. B.S. Bassi, sir. And my score was 100 out of 200, sir.
100?
Yes, sir.
What happened that suddenly from 130 to 200?
Sir,
What do you think could be the reason?
he asked me about my hobby, that how you are going to use your hobby
That's a very normal question.
as a mechanical engineer. And after listening to my answer, he said, I think you are very good cook. Why don't you start your own venture? So
Okay,
I
that
will
is
help.
lighter. But believe me, Sudhanshu, that wouldn't be the reason for low marks. It must be something else.
Sir, while I was answering this question, I said, sir, I am hobby and profession. I said all those things. He said, no, 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 come with me. I will be your guarantor. I will help you to get the loan. And the thing, after discussing with last time, Rupa ma'am was also there. She said that कि आपको क्लियर कट बोलना था कि नहीं सर नहीं करना है. वो ऐसे आदमी नहीं है जो क्लियर कट चीजें नहीं पसंद कर पाएंगे. उनको आर पार वाली चीजें.
That is right. Actually, clear cut जवाब ही देने. In fact, the feedback that I am going to give you is also similar to this.
Yes.
Because you have potential for very high score, but it can go down also, as you have yourself seen. The reason?
Yes.
The reason is simple, that which I observed while I was talking to you in my questions.
Yes.
In interview, Shivanshu, you don't get a second chance to make a first good impression, and it is a first good impression which matters.
Yes.
Why did I say second chance? Because, and that is why you have to understand one thing. What is the core of the question? Why is he asking you this question? What does he want to listen? Say, for example, I asked you about agriculture, and I asked you about what was the other question?
Vadodara, Jabalpur,
disabilities.
Yes.
Now in Vadodara, your response was very disappointing. I'm sorry to tell you that I cannot give you good marks if question wise marks are to be given, because you're not answering the question. You are saying what you want to say on the similarities.
Yes, sir.
So basically, जो पूछा जाए आपको उसका जवाब देना है. This is not the place to show your knowledge. This is the place to respond correctly, accurately, and quickly.
Sir.
And that's why I had to intervene and say, इस पे I am not interested. तो 5-10 marks तो आपके वहाँ कट गए समझिए.
Yes, sir.
So something like this must have happened. I know Mr. Bassi
the type of person is something like that must have happened.
Yes.
वो गलती नहीं करनी है. ये समझो कि क्वेश्चन में कोर ऑफ द क्वेश्चन क्या है. यहाँ जैसे रिटन एग्जाम की तरह यहाँ जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं भूमिका बनाना, उसका वक्त मिलता है और ना उसकी जरूरत होती है, वो नहीं करना है. That in the do's and don'ts it is clearly stated for interview that is never to be done. Straight away come to the most important part of the question and start your answer with that. Otherwise क्या होगा कि very sometimes you will not get a chance to complete your answer. They will switch to another question.
Yes.
Because 25 मिनट में 20 क्वेश्चन अक्सर वो पूछ लेते हैं.
Yes, sir.
Even in the cultural part of Baroda, I had to bring you back because you are telling about the geographical features. The only one cultural thing you mentioned was, which can be related to culture, is the cleanliness.
Yes.
Culture basically includes things like food habits. Vadodara का मैंने क्यों पूछा था आपसे?
Festival Garba and all, sir.
थोड़ा याद, culturally they are very different from North India.
Yes, sir.
In food or in the cultural aspects and the dresses and the safety of women, the liberty to women. This is culture.
Yes.
Not the river and the soil. So ये देखना. Anyway, it's not the content of the answer which matters here.
Yes, sir.
What matters is that जो पूछा है पहले उसका. Same thing similarly on agriculture. आपको knowledge बहुत अच्छी है agriculture की, इसलिए आपसे पूछा था. Because I wanted to boost your confidence because before you go to the technical members. लेकिन I correlated it with export. Why? Because मेरा एंगल इकोनॉमिक एंगल था कि जब हम एक्सपोर्ट करके उससे पैसा कमा सकते हैं फॉरेन एक्सचेंज, तो किसान क्यों गरीब? What does it mean? It means, I'm giving you a hint, that is, some people are earning money from that means agriculture, but farmer is not getting it. Then who is getting it?
Middlemen.
So basically the marketing part you have to address here. Not of course suicide में लोन वगैरह का ठीक है, debt return is okay, that's also a part of operational system, but basically you have to address the marketing that farmer should get the fair price for his produce, and then move on to supplement your answer by saying that he should be helped in improving technology so that production is increased, the quality is increased, and the inputs should be subsidized. Nothing wrong with that. There is no country in the world where agriculture is not subsidized. सब जगह होता है. It's because otherwise agriculture cannot match things like industry, right?
Yes.
So basically you have to catch the spirit of the question and then respond. इसलिए or supposing you need a little time for the sake of discussion, suppose you need a little time to organize your thoughts and give an answer. In UPSC it is permissible to borrow time. So may I please take 10 seconds to 15 seconds to formulate my thoughts, then I'll be able to give a better answer. If you ask this question, take it from me, this shows presence of mind in you. They will give you 10 marks for this itself. कि सोचने वाला क्वेश्चन है, लड़के ने ये समझ लिया है and he has the confidence to borrow time. That is very important. These are the qualities for which interview is being taken. Otherwise knowledge तो आपकी टेस्ट हो चुकी है, right?
Yes.
Take care of that. You will definitely do very good. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Yes, technically you are good, very good. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
शिवांशु सब सही है. बस ये है कि आप रेलवे में काम कर रहे हो तो उसके बारे में इन डेप्थ जितना आप पढ़ सकते हैं टेक्निकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू वो ज़्यादा बेटर रहेगा.
Yes.
क्योंकि आप 3 साल से वहीं काम कर रहे हैं तो उसी से रिलेटेड ही क्वेश्चंस आपसे ज़्यादा पूछ सकते हैं.
Yes.
बेस्ट ऑफ लक.
कुछ ऐड नहीं करना मुझे, लाइक थोड़ा सा ब्रश अप करो आप सब्जेक्ट्स को.
Yes, sir.
जो किया आपने उसको ब्रश अप करो. अब सफिशिएंट टाइम कब है इंटरव्यू आपका?
14th of December, sir.
14th है, रफली 1 मंथ है ना? तो आप जस्ट ब्रश अप करो सब्जेक्ट्स को. करेक्ट.
Thank you so much, sir.
ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thank you.
बेस्ट ऑफ लक.
सर कितना मार्क्स दिया बता दीजिए.
Yes.
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी. म्यूट.
Sorry. Marks आपको दिए हमने शिवांशु 135. It is close to your best, but you can cross 140 also. Let me tell you, you have the potential. But take care of some basic things for which interview is being conducted by UPSC. आपने एक चीज पढ़ी होगी UPSC के prospectus में लिखा है इसे इंटरव्यू नहीं कहते, यूपीएससी जनरली पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट कहती है।
Yes.
और प्रोस्पेक्टस में ये लिखा है, द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस टेस्ट इज नॉट टू टेस्ट द नॉलेज ऑफ द कैंडिडेट व्हिच हैज ऑलरेडी बीन टेस्टेड इन द मेंस. So although 3 out of 4 members there will ask you technical questions, but technical questions में खाली जवाब ही नहीं की बात है, एक तो application part और दूसरा how you handle the question. Sometimes they must have asked you very difficult questions also. When a candidate is doing well, the trend is that they will ask you more difficult questions. Why? The reason is, how is this young man going to perform when in troubled waters? That is a test of personality. तो अभी आपके पास टाइम है, उन 20 दिनों में ऐसा करो, कुछ डिफिकल्ट और कुछ नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस की लिस्ट बना लो.
Yes.
ठीक है, and then answer the difficult questions in front of a mirror or by recording or with your friends. उसकी प्रैक्टिस करना जरूरी है. How you behave when you are having a difficult and unusual question, that is the test of personality.
Yes.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you so much.